Hello and welcome back to Tech Tactics. Today we're diving into a detailed look at the AMD RX 580 GPU, a graphics card that made its debut back in 2017. This GPU was equipped with 8GB of memory. While this amount of memory may not seem impressive by today's standards, it could certainly be enough for modern game titles. So, let's dive in and explore if this GPU can still hold its ground in 2024. Let's start with Starfield, but first I'll provide some background on the XFX AMD Radeon RX 580 GTR XXX edition. It was launched to compete with the GTX 1060 and was designed using a 14nm manufacturing process. This GPU is based on the Polaris 20 graphics processor, which has 2,304 stream processors. It has a base clock speed of 1,257 MHz and can boost up to 1,340 MHz. Additionally, it is equipped with a 256-bit memory bus and comes with 8GB of GDDR5 memory. In terms of power consumption, this graphics card is relatively efficient with a TDP of only 185 watts. Overall, the RX 580 was a powerful GPU at the time of its release. Now, back to Starfield, which is one of the most demanding games to run on any hardware. With the resolution set to 1080p and on the low graphics preset, we can see on the left, with frame generation turned off, we have an average frame rate of only 24 FPS and a respective low of just 20 FPS. On the right side, with frame generation enabled, there is a slight improvement with an average of 37 FPS and a 1% low of 12. However, I wouldn't say this setup provides a good gaming experience for Starfield, especially with the FPS drops below 30. Even with frame generation enabled, the game is definitely not playable. Maybe dropping it to 720p is a good idea with this one, so I'm going to give this card a thumbs down for Starfield. Rockstar's new release of Red Dead Redemption has finally arrived on PC, 15 years after its original launch. I played this game on the PlayStation 3 and spent a significant part of my early adult life immersed in it. Now, 15 years later, it has captured my attention once again. In my opinion, the game's story is among the best, along with Red Dead Redemption 2. One drawback I find with the PC version of this game is its £50 price tag. However, you don't have to purchase games at full price. I recommend checking out g2a.com for discounts on games. If you can wait, the game will likely go on sale soon. So consider waiting to get an even lower price. On the left, we see the medium graphics preset, and on the right is the high graphics preset. As of 2024, the RX 580 is still a decent choice for gaming. It can handle most modern games at 1080p and even some at 1440p like Red Dead. The 580 is an excellent budget graphics card for 2024. In this game, under the medium graphics preset, we achieve an impressive average of 112 FPS with a 1% low of 92. On the high preset, we get an average of 77 FPS with a 1% low of just 67. I'm pleased to see that game companies are starting to release games that are more complete. There has been a troubling trend of poorly optimized and rushed game releases in recent years. Next, let's talk about Fortnite, which runs at a native resolution of 1080p on the low graphics preset. This game is quite playable and no upscaling is used. Fortnite is one of them games where you need that extra FPS boost. A smooth experience is essential for this game. On the Nintendo Switch, the gameplay on that is terrible and stuttery compared to the PC version. The low graphics settings don't play well with the Switch, I don't think. The RX 580 is not just a gaming GPU, it's also an excellent choice for people who are wanting to start content creation and are looking for an affordable GPU. For instance, in video editing software like DaVinci Resolve, the RX 580 can handle 1080p video editing with ease. It can also manage 4K, although the performance may be somewhat sluggish. In 3D rendering software such as Blender, the RX 580 delivers a decent performance. While it may not match the capabilities of an RTX 4090, it is quite reasonable for just £60 on the used market. It can support 3D rendering tasks, but it might take a bit longer than more powerful GPUs. Overall, the RX 580 is a great choice for anyone wanting a budget card to get into the world of PC, but don't expect to play demanding games like Starfield with it. In Fortnite we see an average frame rate of 73 FPS and a 1% low of about 43. Not bad for an old GPU from 2017. Cyberpunk 2077 at native 1080p on the low graphics preset. The RX 580 is still a half-decent option in 2024. It's important to remember that it may not be able to handle future games. In 2024, games and software are becoming more demanding and the 580 may struggle to keep up. However, this doesn't mean that it's a bad GPU depending on the game you're wanting to run. Always check the system requirements on games before you buy. In terms of future upgrades, AMD have released their new line of GPUs, the RX 7000 series, which offer a significant upgrade in performance compared to the RX 580. These GPUs are more expensive than the 580, but they offer better performance and are more future-proof in the long term. Overall, the RX 580 is still a great choice for people who are on a budget. While it may not be the most powerful GPU on the market, it can still deliver performance in some modern games. For example, the average for Cyberpunk is 55 FPS, with a 1% low of 40 FPS. At least it's close to 60 and it's playable. So this game has a thumbs up also. The final game is Resident Evil 4 Separate Ways, set in 1080p native resolution and on the balance preset with motion blur off. Separate Ways has reignited my interest in the Resident Evil games. With this GPU and this game we are hitting that sweet 60 FPS. This arcade AMD GPU can still game in 2024 and is a decent option for 1080p. While the RX 580 may struggle to keep up with newer game titles, it remains a reliable option for many games at this stage. Overall, the game performed well, achieving an average frame rate of 61 FPS and a 1% low of just 49. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more tech stuff. Let us know in the comments section below if you're still using the AMD RX 580 GPU and how it's holding up for you. Thank you for watching and we'll see you in the next one.